This is Death or Prison, brought to you by leanonmeusa.org.
This is the Death or Prison podcast, brought to you by leanonmeusa.org. I'm Elmo Golden.
And I'm Clifton Clark.
I'm Barry Clark.
And I'm Cedric Wilson.
I'm here today at Everglades Correctional Institution with the CTP Correctional Transitional Program members. It's an honor to be here today with you guys, and I'm just going to dive right into it. We have a lot of statistics that show that the CTP program works. Mr. Witherspoon, tell me a little bit about the program.
Well, the CTP program was built for men who have life sentences and eligible for parole after 25 years. And like Dr. Sherman was saying, during the 25 years, our goal is to learn how to be de-prisonized. That means change our ways from all the prison different concepts that we learned since we've been in prison so we can be properly prepared for the outside. With me right here, I have a pie chart of all the men who've been through CTP. You'll see in the 26-year period, 722 men has been through this program. Right now in CTP, we have active 89 people. 77 people have been enrolled in the 26-year period in CTP for various reasons, catching DRs and things of that nature. 34 of them have EOS their sentences, meaning they had EOS their sentences before parole. 29 of them has passed before they got parole. And if you see right here, we have a number of 493 men who have been paroled from CTP. As they were speaking about earlier, the process of getting in CTP, get parole, and getting off of parole. In the 26-year period, we have 100 men who have been discharged from parole from CTP. We also have 82 men who have died after being paroled from CTP. On the other chart I have, you'll see that in the fiscal year of 2015, the parole commissioners set a benchmark of successful measuring measuring the success of a program at 85% or 15% recidivism within 2 years of release. CTP has exceeded that mark with a recidivism of 0% in the fiscal year of 2013 to 2014. The following year, the Parole Commission, fiscal year 2014-2015, raised the bar and put the measure part at 90% recidivism rate and extended the period of years from 2 years to 3 years after release. Even during the years where CTP didn't exceed 100%, it exceeded the benchmark that the commissioners set for success. The national recidivism average for recidivism is around 66% within 2 years. During the fiscal year of 2014 to 2019, CTP may not have exceeded all the years, but we did succeed the benchmark of the commissioners. Within that 5-year span, it was 115 men paroled from CTP, with only 3 revocations within that time frame. As we said, the national recidivism average is 66%. CTP succeeded that every year. With the 115 men who have been paroled with only 3 revocations, we had a success rate of 97.4%. That's less than 3% recidivism. Most of the violations, as Dr. Sherman said earlier, were for technical reasons. There's drugging, drinking, changing resident without checking with your parole officer, things of that nature. But we only have 1 who committed a new offense, a serious offense in CTP. That gave us a recidivism rate of less than 1%, the best in the nation. I have another chart The fiscal year 2019 wasn't enough time to add to the previous chart. So since the fiscal year 2019 to 2022, we have had 73 men paroled from CTP with 0 revocations. As I stated earlier, the commissioner benchmark was set at 90%. CTP exceeded that benchmark every year with a recidivism rate of less than 3%. Out of the 115 men paroled during that 5-year period, 27 of the men had parole without the benefits of CTP and had their parole revoked. Once these 27 men had the benefit of going through CTP, every single one of these men was successful, giving us a success rate of 100%.
Now that's impressive. When you have data like that, there's no way around not saying that this program is not working or is not effective. Mr. Witherspoon, how long have you been in prison?
I've been in prison now 34 years and 3 days.
34 years and 3 days. When is your next parole hearing?
I was paroled on February 22nd of this year.
You went to the hearing?
No, we don't go to the hearing. We have the interviews here at the institution. And the hearings take place in Tallahassee or other spots that we might have. So we speak at the interview. We've been doing it lately since COVID over the telephone. And the parole interviewer asks us about our plan once we gonna leave prison. So we give him our plan, which he have a copy of our parole plan in his presence. So he's seen everything that I'm involved in, all the support I have, and what my plans is once I leave prison.
Well, we wish you best, and hopefully if there's anything that we can do, we hope to afford our energy and efforts to you getting out. 34 years, and with that kind of data, I'm willing to take a chance on you.
Right? I'm be part of the data in a successful way.
Amen. Barry.
Yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit about the program.
When I first heard that I was coming to CTP, I was excited because I knew that this was the only way to go home. The first Monday night in the visiting part, Dr. Shern has the new guys stand up. She said, "Why are you here?" I said, "Because I'm ready to go home." She said, "But are you prepared?" It never occurred to me I needed to be prepared. All I knew I needed was to get a job once I got out, be with my family, and I'd be successful. What this program has taught me is that there's a whole lot more to parole than to see my family and me going fishing. There's a lot of things out there that can stop me, that can make me turn one way that I shouldn't turn. The programs, the men before me that have taught me what to expect, the parolees and alumni that come back on Tuesday nights, and they tell me the things that they've gone through, the things that they've faced, and how they handled it. All of those help to build me up to be more successful, so that when I'm paroled in, I can do the same thing for them. One of the biggest things that we learn here is whatever we do here, whatever I do here, is what I'm going to do in society. So I have to start living as if I'm in society here. That's where the deprisonization comes in. I have to get rid of that prisonized thinking. I have to get society thinking again. The FIU students, they're a big part of that because they're bringing society to us. They're bringing us presentations about, they talked about electronics, about bus routes and the library and insurance and automobiles. And there's a whole lot of stuff out there that we have to learn that wasn't part of my life 35 years ago. So learning through these classes, becoming a facilitator and teaching classes also helps me be more grounded in the information that I need to be a success.
Great job, Barry. I think I met you at South Bay. We were in the Gavel Club together.
We were.
And it was a small little room, a little closet. And I was immediately drawn towards you with the way that you, your mannerism and the way how humble you were with welcoming us in. I was one of the new guys that had an opportunity to go into that club. That club now, it was maybe 5 or 6 of us in that room. It was a closet, really.
Right.
And now that club, because of what you guys started there, has grown over to 50 guys. And the name of that club now is called the Golden Gavel Club. My name is Elmo Golden. I became the president of that club.
Great.
And I've always wanted to see you again and let you know, man, because of your treatment with welcome me in has caused me to get into that program and evolve beyond measure. And hopefully I can be of assistance. The program, the Death to Prison podcast, that's why we're here. We're here to help. We're here to assist. The hope, the guidance that we so readily beat upon is something that we want to offer all you guys on your welcome back home. I'm looking forward to working with you guys.
One thing I'd like to interject there is that when men like Elmo, myself, Cedric, and Clifton, when we realized that change is needed, he said there was 5 or 6 guys in that little closet. There were times when we had 12 to 15 men in that little closet because we wanted to improve, to be better than we were.
Mr. Clifton Clark, I know you have something to add to what this discussion is all about. Can you speak to us a little bit?
Yes. When I was told I was coming to CTP, I thought about how I had to watch the NFL draft and them young guys getting drafted to the NFL. How they used to be sitting in their homes with their family and their loved ones, just sitting there waiting to get picked. And throughout my years before I had my hearings, I always wanted that day to come when I get sent to CTP. When I was told I was sent to CTP, I felt like them guys that was drafted to the NFL. That was the big day. It was time to put on my pads, put on my thinking cap. Not only that, but I know that it was a change maker for me. Because over the years, that having the ability to have my family support me, I knew I was fortunate. And now that when I found out I was being sent to CTP down here in Miami, I'm from Jacksonville, I felt like, okay, well, I'm not gonna see my family for a while because I'm in Miami. I knew it was a change I had to make. So there was commitment. And the guys speak about the change. You have to be committed to change. That's one thing, you have to be committed to change. And one thing Dr. Shern, she tells us not to do, the word try. She don't like using the word try. Try is something that you've already failed to do something. You have an unwillingness to do it. So she wants you to just exclude that word try from your vocabulary because all your goals are reachable. So you can attain your goals by just doing the things you need to do in the program. Right now, we at the end of spring semester. We have a banquet coming up, and that's something that she does. Dr. Shern don't believe in punishment. She believes to awards, achievement awards. There's milestones, things that we're learning in this program to achieve, all the goals and goal settings. They teach us parole preparation. Not only that, Dr. Shern has this class she teaches. Not currently, she's not teaching it right now, but the class is called ARMS. It's an acronym: Appreciation, Respect, and Manners. And not only that, but the class also teaches about the 6 keys to deprisonization. And one of the keys are universal students. And the second key is accountability and leadership. The third key, community speakers. The fourth key, achievement awards. And the fifth key, parole preparation. And the sixth key, support network. All the alumni, parolees you just heard speak, support networking. What they do is they come up on Tuesday night. They give us all the pitfalls, the things we need to avoid and watch and look for when we get out there in the NOAA and society. And the guys alluded to this earlier about the 3 components. The first component is getting parole. And the second component is living successfully while you're on parole. That's the key thing. But the main goal is being terminated from parole. That is the main goal. So like John Vicente, I'm coming for you. So just one thing about the program, that guys that come to the program, they've been doing things their way for so long, this program don't allow that. Zero tolerance. You have to be committed to change. Because the only way you can live successfully out in society and parole right now is changing your behavior, all your patterns, old patterns, replacing with something new. It can be done.
Man, great job. We're here again with the CTP members. These guys are looking forward to one day joining us and doing the work that God has called us to do. It's been an honor being here with you guys today. I especially would like to thank the administration for allowing us to come in. We'd like to thank Ricky Dixon, also the Secretary of the Department of Corrections, for allowing us to have this opportunity. I think today we have some insight of what goes on inside of the prison that's conducive to the education and development of men that are going to return home, that are going to be neighbors, that are going to be working side by side on different jobs, that may be even involved in the relationships with your family members. This goes deeper than what we can ever think about. So we'd like to thank everybody that had a part in this. This has been the Delta Prison Podcast, brought to you by Lean On Me USA, where we say, choose life.
Welcome back to the Death for Prison Podcast, brought to you by leanonmeusa.org. I'm your host, Oswald Nubo.
My name is John Eddings.
My name is Urban Landy. My name is Mario Pettifrere.
I'd like to say welcome to all of you here today. So I'm seeing CTP, and I'm wondering, I saw this term, but I'm unfamiliar with it. John, could you tell me what pre-CTP is?
I'm so glad you asked me that. Well, the CTP stands for Corrections Transition Program. I'm blessed to be one of the alumni who went through the program, first as an inmate, later as a parolee, and now as an alumni. I still get to work with these men. But now, what happened maybe a little over 2 years ago, the way it worked, the way I remember the story, Dr. Shern shared it with me, is that prior to men getting sent to the CTP, the commission sends them to other programs, New River, Lifers Program, different ones throughout the state in preparation for the time that the commission feels they're ready to join us here. But what happened, Dr. Shern found that she kept having to unlearn these men, so many things they learned these other programs that really didn't properly prepare them for what she wants them to get in track with. So she asked the commission, can I put together another program attached to the CTP called the pre-CTP? So she did do that. She got permission, she put it together. Now, on my part, on June 1st of 2021, almost 2 years ago, I was honored to ask to come in and start working with the men. First, I taught victim awareness, and then I started working with them on a weekly basis. And we work with them in several different areas in preparation for their time in the CTP. We bring them hope. We help them with different classes in areas of this nature. They have to keep three things in mind: stay out of trouble, stay productive, and stay alive. And you're in a position now, you got 1 foot in the door. Just keep doing these things. And hope is is the most valuable currency that we can give these men. And they listen. And so another thing that, with the way it works with me, my part of it, in the last year or so, my wife, Helen, joins me. And every Tuesday, we go in and work with them. And we do bring them hope. We share things in our life. We share them things that they can look forward to when they get in the CTP. So I'm honored to be a part of that. But in order to talk more about the pre-CTP and what they get out of it, there's two men here with us. Irvin, who is the lead facilitator, he's from the CTP, but he's one of the two lead facilitators that go work with these men, both in the dorm and other places we work. And then Mario is one of the men that was in the pre-CTP, is now affects what we call a crossover, because he crossed over to the CTP. And they can share what they get out and how it helped them. But I also want to acknowledge John Vicente while I'm here, because he works very well with them too, usually on Mondays. But we work together as a small team to work with these men. And right now, if I remember correctly, we have 102 men in in the pre-CTP. But I think Irvin Landy would be a good place to start.
Hey, my name is Irvin Landy. I've been incarcerated for 30 years, 9 months. I've been in CTP for 24 months, 22 years, 5 months, and 23 days. So when I first arrived here, came in October of 20, and they were telling me about the pre-CTP program, and the pandemic just had opened up, ended, and we just opened up started by going to class. So they came up with the idea about the pre-CTP in January of 21. Just in a few months, they say they just opened it up and started. So I had to move from Quad 1, which is predominant CTP, and move in with the pre-CTP guys in Quad 3. So we went over there. We had 3 classes. First, we started out with the same classes as the CTP guys. We did parole planning, cycle addiction. Then Doc come back the next semester and said, no, we want to make it different for it to be a step up. So when she got with John Eddings, John Vicente, Fred Reboza, we started going to the visiting part and doing AA with John Vicente and Fred Reboza. Then John did the character first class in the victim awareness. We went from there. Then they gave us more responsibility. We started facilitating the classes as we went on. And like you were saying, guys go to all the other institutions and do all these other programs, so deprison, and most of the guys have never been in program. So working with them and building that structure was kind of hard. So the best class that I liked that we started was character first. So it gave me the opportunity to teach the guys about character. So I likened to changing of clothes, to putting on and taking off clothes. And I used this scripture from the Bible that in Colossians 23, when God tells us to put on meekness, long-suffering, and all those things. So as I teach the guys, you have to take off them dirty clothes. You have to put on character. You got to put on respect. You have to put on these things when you get up in the morning to respect and learn from each other. It was a process, and we're still in it. We started with about 30 guys originally. Mr. Ziegler opened up the cars. Now we're over 100 and some guys in pre-CTP. We got a few other guys that's from CTP that's live over in the quad. We live actually in the quad with them, so we're there every day. They have the same family accountability model that we also have, which started with the member first, then the family leaders, then the CACs, then the senior counselor and Dr. Sherm. So they get the same respect as and things that we get also in the teachings. And Mario, he can tell you more about what he got up out of that we taught him as facilitators. Thank you, Irv. I would like to say that my name is Mario Pettifer again, and I've been incarcerated over 29 years. They call me the baby of the group. I don't know how a baby is 47, but they call me a baby nonetheless. And I would like to say that pre-CTP, when I was sent there, I was at Sumter CI, Lifers Program. And I can honestly say that I thought Sumter's Life Program was the cream of the crop. Gets no better than Sumter CI Lifers Program. And then the Parole Commission said, we're gonna send you to pre-CTP. I got there, I came here. They entered me in class as soon as I got there. I had to check it out, see how everything was going. And mind you, I was ready to facilitate. I already was teaching facilitators how to facilitate. So I left a program, a spot where I was like top dog. Now I gotta come to a class where I'm no longer standing up. I gotta sit down. I'm like, man, this sucks. Man, I'm a facilitator, I wanna teach. But no, pre-CTP and CTP has structure, has order, has a foundation. And as I embrace the structure, as I embrace the change, and 6 months later, the Parole Commission had another hearing on me, and they put me in CTP. But while I was in pre-CTP, he was one of my instructors. And I can say that I love that illustration he uses about changing clothes, because that's what it's all about, my mindset. knowing how to change and take off negativity and put on positivity. Instead of being one that sees the glass half empty and complain, I see the glass half full and say, man, I got some water to drink. And being in prison for a long time, you learn to see it in the negative. You don't learn to see it in the positive. You have to train yourself to see it in the positive, not the negative. And if I had an acronym to describe what pre-CTP is, I would call it HOPE. Because what pre-CTP did for me and what I share with other men, H stands for helping. O stands for others. P stands for preparation. And E stands for entry. Entry where? Entry into CTP, the college. As one of our brothers alluded to earlier that spoke up here, by the name of Troy Martin. Because this is where this is at. And I received help from others. And they prepared me for entry into CTP where I am right now. And being in CTP, I can tell everyone that's listening to me right now, please get the ECI. Please put in the work to get the ECI because nobody is going home who's on the parole commission if they don't come through this program. This is a blessed program. We have great helpers like our very own John Eddings and his beautiful wife, Helen. They are so instrumental in helping us. That network, that support network, I haven't seen it anywhere else. Haven't seen the help and support, not just for them, but from the administration, from our head warden, our assistant wardens, our head classification, the officers, the majors, the captains, the colonels. They pitch in to make this what it is. So success and applause goes to everyone along the board.
Hey, thank you for sharing that. I thank all of you for sharing it because I'm going to have to tie some things up. But before I do that, I want to say something stood out to me. It said, unlearn. One of the hardest things in life to do is to learn, have to unlearn, and then relearn something new. Right. That's not an easy process in life for most people. So I commend anyone here who had learned something, had to unlearn it, and then relearn something new. But the biggest thing is being willing to embrace and accept this. Acceptance is a hard thing sometimes. Sometimes we think we know it all. Even I seen you kind of a little felt like, I'm straight, I'm good, I'm a facilitator. You never realized that here at Everglades, they was gonna give you something that you would realize, I was slipping, I still could learn a lot. And that's how life goes. Because I've been there. You know, in my journey coming through the system, I was like one of them ones ducking class, ducking school. People were going to class. I had every excuse why I wasn't going. And I felt I was a sharp person, which I feel I am. I go to class and realize that, boy, you supposed to be in here. I was lost, like, for real. Yeah. So it's good. I thank all of you for sharing this here. So for the audience, I need to fill in some blanks here. So when we talk about the CTP, Correctional Transitional Program, the first thing is becoming eligible. And it is actually the parole commission, right, that sends who becomes eligible in the candidate, right? Yes. So I'm going through process right now. So y'all help me out. First thing, parole commission to say that who's eligible to come, and they send. Once they come here, am I hearing that the first thing they go into is pre-CTP?
No, not always. See,
okay, some
men go. First, let me get some straight. It's corrections transition program. Let's use the right word, corrections transition program. And something that didn't come out is that a few years ago, they changed their name from the Florida Parole Commission to the Florida Commission on Offender Review, FCOR, just for the record, so we got that straight. But now what the commission will do is that sometimes they send men straight to the CTP, but sometimes they feel they need a little preparation, and they send them to the pre-CTP instead. So that's how that goes. And then when they feel they're ready to make, so I guess what you might want to call, I'll borrow a page from you, we're the junior college. The pre-CTP is the junior college. But when the commission feels they're ready to go from junior college to a Division I, they put them in the CTP.
Right. So for the process, for people who might be in another state that listen to this podcast that have no idea, I'm just trying to simplify. So our parole arm here within the state of Florida, they seeing who they're going to send that's eligible here.
Correct.
They're going to dictate who's goes directly into pre-CTP or who goes into CTP without the pre, right?
Correct.
All right, so that's on the parole thing. When they get here, how long is the CTP program? Well, how long is the pre-CTP if they should go into that?
There is no set time limit. It's just until the commission decides that they
They
feel
can move to the next.
And I want to say something too. There's a lot of people who complain there's not enough people going. People have to wait too late. But I have seen something in the commission in these years that I deem that they're very wise over and the system they use because they choose who comes here, they choose who goes home, and they have contributed to this success rate in their choices in that. A lot of people might not like me saying that, but that's the truth.
Okay, again, so the pre-CTP could vary, and it's based on when they feel that they're ready to move
Right.
them on to the next phase.
Correct.
After that, they go into CTP, and even I'm assuming that some people may finish it faster than complete it faster than others.
We had one man, Albert Pascal, who stayed in there somewhere between 18 and 19 years before they let him go home. And we have some that do it a year and a half.
Okay.
I personally was in it 4 years.
Good. And for me, I'm just learning the process because one thing about this, as we're telling things here through the Death or Prison podcast, it's informative. It's also educational. It's empowerative. It's inspirational. It's all of these things. So when we do that, I always like to serve our audience well to know what's going on with this. You never know when there may be a warden in another state listening to this and saying, hey, we may need to do something like that, what they're doing in Florida. So I share these things here because it helps. It's helping the population we serve, right? And this could be a great template. So all I want to say is thank all of you for coming in here. Thank you for the information. Thank you for the knowledge. We're here at Everglades CEI today, here with the incentivized programs, CTP. You're in tune to the Death or Prison podcast, brought to you by Lean On Me USA. But around here, we say, choose life.
I can change the world. Feed one, teach one boy and girl. Maybe we can change the world.